Hi, welcome back. My name is Sonja Geracsek. I'm a motion designer, and today is part 2 of my new series. It's going to be multiple sessions of me streaming this, I think. And I want to come up with an idea for an animated Christmas card, and I want this to be a series actually. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about is I was inspired by the Home Sweet Home homework newsletter, and a few weeks ago Lauren Hom, who runs that newsletter, gave it over to, sorry, I need to find the, here, okay, I'm just opening the Instagram page. So Lauren gave the mic, so to speak, over to Vanessa, who came up with this idea to create a greetings card for a place that is significant to you. Now, this assignment is based around hand lettering, and I've taken that inspiration and kind of gave me an idea of doing this, but from a motion graphics perspective. So I will be doing a series of these greeting cards about places that mean something to me, but not from a hand lettering perspective, but from an animation perspective. And yeah, so basically I'll show you what I've come up with so far. These are my inspirational pages. So basically I went to the library and I went through a bunch of art books, and this is what I came up with. Okay, on screen that might look, I was pointing at the screen from my from my perspective, but actually you'll see it the other way around, so this way. These are some illustrations that I liked. There was like a whole book just on maps, so I took a lot of pictures, and this is why this entire page is just a bunch of differently illustrated maps. And yeah, basically I illustrated maps. I didn't illustrate maps. I looked at this book and I kind of took inspiration from it, took pictures of images that inspired me, and I continued on to other books. Here's the design by Vanessa, and basically other types of illustrations that kind of spoke to me. And not just illustration books, but also from historical books. There's a bunch of books from like the turn of the century, from the 19th to the 20th century. And this is the kind of more vintage style. There are posters here. There is the Chat Noir and a bunch of other posters from that time. These are, I think, maps. So not, the inside of a map as the ones before, but the outside of a map, what I would imagine would work as a postcard as well. You have an illustration of that place, it says the name of the place, and then some accompanying words like come here or greetings from here or something like that. So and here we're going even further into the vintage style with just a bunch of patterns. This has like almost like a typography design. So yeah, these are the inspirational images that I found that I thought kind of spoke to me. And now I want to move forward in this idea, but I'm feeling a little bit stuck. So I'm just going to take you on this journey with me of where I can go from here, how I can move on, how I can find an inspiration to get to a place that moves towards creating this animation. So the next thing I would want to do is probably look up a place. So I probably want to do my first one for Bratislava, which is the capital of Slovakia, because that's where I was born. That's where most of my family still lives. So, and I know that Bratislava just a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago by now, had like a new kind of, had a rebrand, and all of the public transport, all signs had this like new branding on them with a particular color scheme, which isn't showing up on this website. So I don't know where I could find it, but travel in Slovakia, good idea. Oh boy, that already sounds like kind of good English, but not exactly. It's like, it's not wrong, but it just, something's not right about it. But maybe it's the visit Bratislava, maybe this one. Yeah, so this is the branding here. You can see like this icon, which is supposed to represent the, we can go switch to English. This is the castle, which is very famous in Slovakia. Actually, I don't know if that image just then was the castle, but basically it's, the castle is like a huge thing. It's in the center of the city. A lot of the urban and suburban, I think this is the castle, the image just before that. Basically, a lot of the structures here, you see it here, are built around this castle. This is a very central focal point. It's the center of the old town, so I'm guessing this is why they put it in the logo. And we already have a clear color scheme. We've got this red, this blue, and this white. So without having a particular color scheme in mind, I would probably start from this point. So this has a color scheme already, and we're also working with the white and the black. So I would say I'll just grab a screenshot of this. I'm just using the Windows snip and stretch, and I'm just gonna do a 3-second timer so I can hover over this, and I'm just gonna grab this as a color. There I also have like the 2 gray tones in there, and I'm just gonna save that. And I don't know if I'm going to permanently stick with this color scheme, but I just want to have an idea. And in here in my designs, no, I'm in the wrong folder. I want the greeting cards. In my designs, I have like a links folder. I think I'm just gonna have like so usually I have an input folder, which is why my folders start. Oh, you can't see my folders. I'm somewhere else. Sorry. There we go. I'm gonna save this in here, input. And this is Bratislava logo. I'm just saving this. You can't see that on screen just now, but in just a moment you will be able to. Okay, so basically I just saved it in here. I have this inputs folder where I can just throw stuff in, and I've just saved this logo in here. And if I go back to my Chrome, let's see, I had a feeling that they had a different color scheme, like more into the brown tones. But as you can see, the website is kept very modern, quite minimalistic. I don't know if I want to keep it that way, or if I'd want to go, because my initial idea was go with this kind of vintage style, where I'm leaning more towards more like golden age of travel, which is this, I'll just show you on Pinterest. I'm gonna have to find that link somewhere. Give me a second. put together a Pinterest board of, oh, my cable. Okay, so if I jump over to Chrome, it's this. So this is my Pinterest board of this sort of vintage explorer style, and all of these posters came up when I searched for golden age of travel. And I think the golden age of travel is defined in that time where commercial travel became more accessible and prominent, and so that's, I think, after World War II, so between 1945 to 1960, that's usually a loose definition of the golden age of travel. And so the style has this kind of vintage 40s, 50s look. And what I'm speaking about, what I mean by this look or this kind of golden age of travel style that I'm going for, it's these types of posters with the bold font and then some sort of illustrated image. And yeah, so this is kind of what I'm going for. So it's kind of, it's vintage. It's definitely vintage, and that's also the look that attracted me in all of these design books. Some of these are more modern, like you can see these London, Paris, New York, they're a little bit more modern, but it still has that simplistic illustration with the bold lettering, or not necessarily bold, but but I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe focusing on these three images, the illustration style is the same. So I want something that is overarching. I want a design where it's not completely different for each city or for each place that I'm designing it for. I want there to be an overarching theme. I want it to be a series that when you see them next to each other, you know that they belong together. Just like here, the illustration style is the same, but then the lettering changes depending on the place. That gives it kind of that flair of that place. So I guess that's really where I want to go. And I need to find a style for this. So, right now, I'm still a little unsure where I'm going with this. So at this point, I would usually try and sketch something, but maybe I'll just try that. I'll do it in Illustrator, and I'll just put some blocks together, blocks of text or blocks of things. I've never done this type of thing before, so you're really following me from like no planned perspective. Come on, Illustrator. Okay, I'm just opening the software now. I'll take you in as soon as I've got it all set up. Let's go film and video. Okay. I'm going to make it probably in a HD format, so let's just go with that. Okay. I'll switch over to Illustrator. Okay. So, I probably want a background. Let's give this a background. I'm just gonna create a frame 1920 by 1080. And I want it to be shape widgets. Interesting. I wanted to align with the artboard just to make sure. I'm going to check that. Oh, no, it's aligning with the other artboard. It's not what I want. Okay, so it's just a background. I'm gonna rename my layer to BG. I'm going to lock this. And then I'll go back to my inspiration, which is the Acrobat. And my main inspiration is probably going to be this Greetings from Bangkok. So I need to lock my mouse. This Greetings from Bangkok. So it's this sort of greeting cards style type thing. God. So there is some illustration here, but the focus is on the text. I probably don't want to have the focus on the text. But let's just say, okay, let's bring in the Bratislava logo. So I'm just going to drag this in here. Oh, yeah, I need a new layer. Now it's created a new file. I don't want that. Logo. Excellent. Now I can create a color palette from this. That's a start. It doesn't mean I have to use this color palette. But at least I'll have it in case I do want to stick to this color palette. So I'll have this. I don't know if that's actual white or if that's a very, very light gray. I think it's a very, very light gray. But let's add all of these grays. Are they the same? Did I just add the same gray? They look almost the same. I can't tell. Okay, and I'll drag the black and white in here. And I think for now I'm going to get rid of all the other colors so I don't get distracted. Because also if I get rid of the colors, I can save this as a swatch. I can go... oh, sorry. Damn it. I keep forgetting to switch. I was already in Illustrator and you're just looking at my Acrobat. Okay. We're in Illustrator. I added these swatches to this little window, which unfortunately you can't see with the window cast. So I'm in this window and I've got these swatches and eventually I'll be able to, I can click on these 3 lines and I can save this out as an ASE, which means I can use it in other documents in InDesign and in Illustrator mainly. So that's super useful. I don't know if I'm going to need that or not, but for now I've got it here. So I'm referring to this chart, even though on screen I don't think you can see that right now, but it's fine. Okay, so actually this color is white, so I guess I can get rid of this one. So I have the 2 gray tones and the black and the white. So that's the color scheme. I might want to diverge from that because if we go back to my ideas board, it's more warm tones. There's some blue. Here there's a lot of gray and blue, but overarchingly in these designs that are more vintage looking, the color range, it's more within the warm tone, so I'll probably need to adjust the colors, but you know, never hurts to be prepared. So I saved those colors and maybe I'll just start with the layout. So what happened to my logo? Did I move it somewhere? Ah, yes, I moved it up here. I'll just put it there. I'm not really sure how to go about this. So, okay. Let's go, let's say, if I jump back if I jump back here, it's like greetings from Bangkok, and like the place name is usually the biggest one because that's really the information you want to send, right? So this is the biggest piece of information I want. And actually I don't need to use shapes because I'm not going to do the hand lettering myself. I might as well go ahead and find a nice font that will work for this. And I think what I'll do is actually jump over to well, I can see what fonts I already have, and then if I don't like any of those, I can just jump into Adobe Fonts and get a font from there. And yeah, so let's see. We want it to be bold. I don't know. Bratislava. What is Bratislava to me? It's traditional and it's a really nice old town, but it's one of the most modern cities in Slovakia. It has history, it has culture, but it is very modern. So maybe I want a more modern approach for this font. Maybe something like this. Maybe I want it to be all caps, actually. I'm not going to settle on a font just now. I'm not sure what this says to me. What does this say to me? Maybe like a newsprint. Maybe this isn't the right font, but it's okay. Oh, I didn't switch back to Illustrator again. Sorry. I keep forgetting. Okay, so... okay, let's go. Let's have a look what other fonts I have installed. No. I think I want something that's kind of fat, probably. But I do want it to have a little bit of whimsy or something traditional looking, because it does have... It is not a super modern city, not too, you know. Not to a full extent, so... Oh! I love this. This is a Mad Type. This was a free font that was given away by Adobe Stock at one point, or Adobe Fonts, I guess. I kind of love this, but it's a little much. I don't know if I hate that or if I love that. I'm gonna stick with this now, for now. It's kind of cool because if I break this down into shapes, I can do some really nice animation with these. And then maybe this one... maybe this one just won't have illustration. I don't know yet. But this is interesting. This is very interesting. No, but it can't just be, the background cannot just be red. It should be like, yeah, it should really be white. But that's interesting, and like these colors, okay, so if I create shapes from these, then I can touch these individual pieces and I can change the colors of them. So if I want this, all of these purples to be this blue, and then all of these reds, I want them to be this red, and then there's this like yellow color. Maybe I'll just get rid of that. I'll make it this like gray. Oh yeah, and now it's like way more subdued. But this is like the darker gray, right? No, that's the white. Yeah, this is the darker gray. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That has something. And then we have like, let's make this larger. Whoa. And then this one obviously needs to be much more delicate, and not all caps probably. So take that off. And then it's kind of similar to this greetings from. It has that sort of flair, but maybe it's too whimsical, seeing as this is already so whimsical. Maybe it needs to be even more subdued. But maybe it's the chance for this part of the design to kind of match the other designs from the series later on. I don't know. Let's see. So at this stage, I'm really just playing around. As you can tell, I'm not really sure how to approach this. I'm just kind of seeing what works, what I like, what I don't like. Okay, so still working on just the idea. This is not at all, I'm not at all finalizing this. I'm just kind of slapping things on the page to see where I'm gonna go with this. I also find like there's too much detail in this. So if I was to use this font, I would need to like strip it down a bunch. But yeah, maybe I won't do illustrations and I'll just play with the typography for these, but no, I don't think that would work, because it works for this because this font in particular is so out there and it is an illustration in itself, but that won't be the case for all of the illustrations. So yeah, let's see. I'll go back to my inspiration to see where can I go with this. I kind of like this like frame, and then you have something inside the frame, but it's like a whole other illustration framed by another illustration. But I like this banner that goes across it, this banner here. That looks really nice. Okay, let's see. So another thing that I could do is expand the logo. I can image trace this. This is just, 3 colors should be fine. Oh no, that's not enough. Let's do 6 colors. Nope, not enough. No. Line art, black and white logo. Nope. What if I say black and white logo but in color? Yeah, that's way better. But it's still like... I want all the corners and all the paths. No. Damn it. Line art, no. Technical drawing, no. Sorry, I'm just going through the image trace options. Unfortunately, you can't see that on screen right now, but just seeing how I can get this. Don't really want to use even high fidelity photo doesn't work. No, okay, let's go with the black and white, but I'll use color. And the corners, I want them all the way up. And let's pull this to 90. Yeah, that'll do. And ignore white. Yeah. Okay, I want everything to be like this, and then I'll expand it. And then I can get rid of everything apart from this. This and these blue blocks is what I want. And then I can straighten this out. And that way I have the... Oh, what happened here? Why is there two of these? Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of the rest. And yeah, basically I just want to straighten this out to get that original logo. And by hitting Shift C, I'm getting to the bevel option. I can take the bevel out of these. And if I want to align 2 points, I want to hit A, and I want to click the last point, the point I wanted to align to last, and then I use the align option, and then they align nicely. And I think that's it, and then I just need these cubes to be aligned. I'll just get rid of some of these points, I don't need those. And take the bevel out of these. I think they just need to be cubes. And the cubes just need to be the same. The points, yeah, the cubes just need to be the same as... I mean, they're not cubes, they're squares, I guess. Cubes would be 3-dimensional. But yeah, basically, I want these to align. And then... like I said, I might use this logo, I might not, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they are supposed to be straight. Oh, there's a little red thing. I was just checking the original on the website, and there's like a little red thing there, which I guess I'm missing now. Yeah, I'm missing that. Okay, so I need to bring that back. But yeah, so I'll play around with this basically to kind of have something to work on, because if I'm doing mindless tasks like these, like cleaning something up, the creative part of my brain might have some time to process images or other things that I've been looking at and might come up with an idea. What also helps me to come up with ideas is to get outside. I had this amazing moment when I was doing my final project at university. I was studying for my thesis, I was studying title sequences, specifically motion graphics title sequences in movies and TV shows. I think I actually focused on TV shows. And I knew what I wanted to do, I knew what the project was going to be like, but I didn't know how to define the look and feel, how to design it. And I was getting so frustrated, and I went outside and I just went walking and I listened to the music that kind of inspired this design, or this so I was basically, I'll give you more detail about this. The idea was for me to reimagine an existing title sequence instead of coming up with a new one, because I wanted to have this kind of side-by-side comparison of what a title sequence can do and what it can say about a show. And this particular show I chose, it had only a logo reveal. It didn't have a full title sequence. And in my thesis, I basically said that a longer title sequence that the viewer might have to view over and over again, first of all, it puts them in the mood of the show, and for new viewers, it will give them an idea of what the show is about. So that was the basis of my thesis. And then I was recreating this short logo reveal into a full-length title sequence. That was the idea. And so there was already existent music for that because the title sequence already existed. And so I went outside and I was listening to this music over and over. And I was just walking through Dundee in Scotland, where I was studying. I was just walking through the town centre. And at some point, it just hit me. I'm like, whoa, it could look like this, and I could do it like this, and I could base it on this idea, and it just suddenly came together. It was completely unexpected, and this is the moment I always go back to where I'm feeling stuck. I'm like, okay, you need to get out of your head, just go outside, do something else, play some music, or play something that makes you think of this project or relates to this project in some way. And I think that's really helpful to coming up with an idea and moving towards your piece, I guess. So right now I'm still kind of doing that. I went outside earlier today. I took some time to cycle around the area. I finally found the sport for me. It's very hard for me to stick to a sport and do it regularly. I always lose motivation at some point. And most recently I started cycling because the weather's just been beautiful. I started cycling and listening to podcasts, which I usually don't have time to listen to. And so, because I'm cycling, I'm doing sports, and then, that's usually uncomfortable because your muscles start hurting and your body doesn't want to do it. The podcasts distracts me enough, whereas music, it's like, it's nice to listen to. I love listening to music, but it doesn't distract me enough because I'm not actually paying attention. And with a podcast, I have to pay attention. And since I'm not doing anything else that needs my attention, I mean, riding a bike is, apart from, paying attention to the roads and your surroundings, it's pretty much automatic. So I can pay attention to this podcast, divert my attention away from the pain from the exercise, and it's been working. Like, I'm actually looking forward to my next bike ride. I've ridden the bike today. I was really hoping that it would free up my mind, but I guess it couldn't have freed up my mind, right? I just ignored the advice I just gave because I was listening to a podcast, and therefore my mind was engaged, and my mind needs to be free to roam. So there you go. I wasn't listening to my own advice. So I guess I just need to go outside and try not to be busy and actually just let go. So I might have to do that later on today because I'm still feeling stuck on where I'm going with this idea. But yeah. So I hope I'm going to arrive at a point where it's going to come to me what this is supposed to be, or become, rather. I'm going to get rid of that. So here's my logo. I mean, not my logo. The logo of the city of Bratislava. Oh no. Hang on, I got rid of, there we go. I'm going to create a new, what is it? Layer. I'm gonna stick that in there, and I think I got yeah. Okay, so I have everything separated. I like working in separate layers because then when I import everything into After Effects, I have way less work to do in separating all of the graphics. Okay, this looks super random. I'm not sure where I'm going with this really. I'm not really seeing it come together yet. So, okay, but you know, that's one idea. Something about typography. We've got that logo. We've got the color options. Maybe I need to look at the series as a whole. I can't focus on one city at a time, because then I think they're going to start looking kind of disjointed, and because I want them to be within the same look and feel family, maybe I need to move on and kind of look at another city. Okay, so let's just do that. Another city that I would like to look at is, oh, come on. Yes, okay, because I have the giant. Okay, cool. My artboards are kind of close together. Let's make them 100 pixels apart. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to add this background here. And the next one, the next city I would like to look at, or one of the cities I would like to create this for, would be, let's jump into my browser, and that's Munich. That's the city I live in currently. And let's just search for Munich. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that Munich has a tourist website. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, so this is the look and feel of Munich. Don't know if I'm super into it, but there you go. And of course you have the Bavaria flag as well. I don't know if it features on this website, but I guess it doesn't. But yeah. So let's take a screenshot of that. So we have something to go on. So I'm just gonna take a picture of this logo and these two blues, and then I have the yellow and the white. Okay, so I'm going to save this as well. I'm going to save it as Munich logo. And then I need to save this file too, so it doesn't... So today is the 14th. Let's switch back to Illustrator. So I'm just saving the file, which currently you can't see, but okay, so I mean, this is probably concept. Alright, so I'm going to pull this logo in here. And I'm going to grab the color scheme from this. I probably don't want to use any part of this logo because this illustration is way too detailed. And in either way, I probably don't want to use any of these illustrations in the final piece because they were created by another designer. So there's actually copyright on that. And I don't, even though this is a, you know, passion project, which isn't for profit, I would probably be fine using copyrighted material, but I probably want to stay away from that. So either way. So let's collect these colors. I'm going to switch to the ugly screencast view, otherwise you're not going to be able to see these windows that I'm working with. And basically I want to grab this blue. And there's some really weird subdued colors. I'm surprised that these are the... And I guess that's just the white, right? Okay, so these are the colors for Munich. And I guess similarly to this logo, I don't know if you can call it a logo, but similarly to this, I would probably want to feature something like that in the illustration as well. So the point of me doing this is not only to create this animation, but also to challenge myself to illustrate more and create illustrations. And so because of that, I probably want to illustrate something, right? I don't want to just work with the typography. And I definitely don't want to use somebody else's illustration, otherwise what's the point? That I can't say I illustrated that. So I do want to create something like this, something like in this Munich logo, but not exactly this, because there is such tiny detail here that it's like it looks like specks of dust on this illustration. It's proportionally just doesn't work. So that's definitely something I know I want to stay away from. Okay, let's just again write out Munich. And what is Munich? Munich is also quite traditional. You know, if you look at the website, culture and leisure. Munich is home to the Oktoberfest, of course. A lot of people know about this. This is the state where a lot of Germans wear Lederhosen and Dirndl, which is not the case in most other states in Germany. You know, that's usually thought of for the rest of Germany, that everybody just walks around in Lederhosen. Lederhosen, by the way, for anybody who isn't aware, is the plural of the trousers. So if you mean just one pair of trousers, it's a Lederhose. And if it's two pairs of trousers, it's Lederhosen. So if you're talking about one person wearing one pair of Lederhosen, that's wrong. It's one pair of Lederhose. So just FYI for those who have probably never been wondering this. But yeah, this is the capital of Oktoberfest and beer. There's lots and lots of breweries here. There's plenty of breweries in other parts of Germany too. But I think Bavaria is very proud of their beer production. Let's go to, yeah, so this background here. Oh no, I've not been showing the Chrome. Okay, there we go. So this background here is kind of like a modernized version of the Bavarian flag. So that's kind of the look. You can also see it. I don't know, it's very tiny on screen, but the center part of this, what are they called? The, I don't know. I don't know what that's called. Oh yeah, and this iconography is also part of the Munich brand, I guess. Is it a brand? I guess it is. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel stuck. If you have any ideas, throw them out there. Throw them in the chat. Or if you're watching this on replay, throw them in the comments. Let me know where I could get some inspiration, how I could approach this. I've never done this type of thing before. I mean, I've come up with ideas in the past. I've come up with projects and animations from scratch. So it's not like I haven't done this part of the process before, but I've never done this type of, I guess, stylized illustration before. First of all, the most I've ever illustrated is probably my little character that you can see at the beginning of my intro. This character, I've illustrated and animated that. But this, for instance, this part of the video, that's my friend Benedict Frommer Frommer. He's German, Frommer. But he's done this illustration, and it was part of a event trailer. So normally I work with illustrators to create projects. It's very unusual for me to illustrate my own stuff, so maybe this is why I'm feeling a little stuck and a little overwhelmed. But, that's part of the challenge. I want to challenge myself. I want to get to a point where I'm like, okay, I can do this. I've created that. But, so I have experience with layout. So layout should, in theory, not be a problem. But even for the layout, I have very few ideas. Oh, just got rid of the word Munich. Whoops. Undo. So even for that, I don't know. Okay, another idea. Let's go to Adobe Fonts. Let's see if I can go there without being logged in. I guess I can't. Adobe Fonts. Explore unlimited fonts. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Font packs. Browse fonts. I want something. Do I want a sans serif? It's very modern, but I'm not trying to hold my design to the website, but to Munich itself. Munich is very, very, rich in culture. It has lots of beautiful architecture. A lot of the buildings were actually rebuilt after the Second World War, because a lot of buildings collapsed and were bombed down. So, although it doesn't have not a lot of hundreds of year old architecture anymore, it does still have architecture that is at least 70 years old, So there is that. So I don't know if I want to go with something. Maybe let's try with something decorative. What's decorative? No, I don't want to go with a newspaper style. This is cute. I like this. But I don't know if that's really it. Yeah, coming up with this design, I think it's really down to being able to boil down a place to a look and to an idea, and kind of, so if we look back at the Acrobat, my PDF, and these three, the look comes through with just the font. And it's not that they're using crazy decorative font. It's just Paris is a little bit more artistic, a little bit more delicate. New York uses probably like a similar to Times New Roman, the New Yorker newspaper font. And London is bold. It's also kind of similar to the Underground logo. So maybe that's the approach, that I take a font that's similar to the website fonts. I mean, I don't know. But that's not necessarily what defines the place, at least not to the people there, right? If on the London, Paris, New York ones, those are not things that maybe New Yorkers wouldn't say, oh yeah, that's a typical New York font. No, it's for anybody else thinking, oh yeah, that fits because they have that famous newspaper, and that's a newspaper, it's a serif that is traditionally used in newspapers. So you associate it with that place. That's why it works, not because it's the place's branding, so to speak. Well. Yeah. I'm in deep contemplation, and I don't know how to proceed from here. I feel like this is kind of a nice. Didn't The Brothers Grimm come from Bavaria, perhaps. I think they might have. Maybe not. I don't know. But if they did, then this would be a font that's appropriate. But I don't know if they did. Well, I think I have to go back to the drawing board and get some inspirations and see how I can proceed from here. I hope you could take something away from today's ramblings, and I could give you some ideas on how to come up with ideas and how to brainstorm. I think I tried to at least expand on that to give you something to take away. But I think since I'm feeling so stuck, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me online. If you're watching this live on stream, if you liked it, please leave a comment. If you're watching this on the replay on my YouTube channel, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any questions for me about animation, about the design and creative process, about After Effects, please let me know. I do create motion graphics classes on various platforms, so if you are interested in taking a class, you can go to my website, which you can see at the bottom here, sonjageracsek.me, or go to classes.sonjageracsek.me and you can find all my online classes available there. And for now, I will leave you with that. Thanks for joining me, and I'll hope to see you next time. Bye!